All right, and so there you have it at a minute after 11 o'clock. What a info-packed, compelling, the adjectives go on and on, hour and a bit that has been General Nhlanhla Mkhwanaziis back on or in the hot seat for a third day now. And as we mentioned to you in the lead up to this moment, if the past 2 days are anything to go by, the third will be just as explosive. We've heard several more names. We had been anticipating a few more details around how this figure, Brown Mogotsi, may be involved. And I think Nhlanhla Mkhwanaziis has certainly added a bit more flesh to the nature of his alleged involvement in stifling the work of the SAPS. If you've just joined us, we are continuing with our rolling coverage of this Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, which has been in session now for a third day. It's probing alleged political interference, corruption and criminality in the justice system. Let's jump straight into unpacking what we've heard so far, the first leg, if you like, of today's marathon. Joining us once again is senior reporter Kenny Mapanga. We've also got a criminologist, Professor Kolofola Rakubu, who's with us once again for a sense of what to make of the proceedings. I'm actually not sure where to start, Kenny, because it really has been so info-packed. And I think in many ways, we've all been drawn very closely into the details that Nhlanhla Mkhwanaziis have unpacked for us. Let's begin perhaps with that message that he said he got from Brown Mogotsi. It was on the 30th of September at 4:15, we're told, last year, because I think most of the details flow from that.
So from this story alone, with the first interaction with Brown Mogotsi, we get to see that this figure goes beyond the now suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, and this is someone that actually had access to documents within the South African Police Services that went beyond his scope as an alleged associate of the minister, and someone who was from the Northwest but had access to critical information that related to incidents happening in KwaZulu-Natal. And we are seeing now that the Lieutenant General decided to engage this particular figure, thinking that he is engaging with the now suspended minister, because according to his understanding, he was now communicating with someone who was currently with the minister when he received that message. So it is against that backdrop that we begin to understand more about this Brown Mogotsi character and what his intention was when he first started messaging him, which is to give him a heads up, we don't know why, regarding a pending matter of defeating the ends of justice. And we know that this all relates to the allegations of drug peddling in prisons in KwaZulu-Natal. And of course, Lieutenant General Mkhwanaziis was accused of protecting that particular operation in KwaZulu-Natal. And that is the context upon which he deals with the first contact of Brown Mogotsi and how he began to understand the target that was against him at that stage.
Right. So Brown Mogotsi reaches out to the commissioner to say, hey, look, be careful. There's a case coming your way. And in fact, respond accordingly if you want to survive that moment. Prof, let's bring you in. Okay, let me ask the question in this way. Is the picture beginning to crystallize for you as a criminologist about what kind of criminality may have been involved here? At the very least, this is all still allegations. It's still going through text messages. We're yet to really get to the substance of the proof, so to speak. But from the image that's being painted, are you, as an expert, able to start connecting your own dots?
Definitely. The information provided, it's clear. Hence, I will always say the commission might even have a field day trying to verify, because all he's saying is, this is what happened, this is the evidence. And today we got to hear more names to assist us navigate through his testimony. And he's doing that seamlessly, so we are able to hop from A, B, C, and then back to A. But the centerpiece today is Brown Mogotsi and the powers and the nature of political relationships, political interference, and the magnitude of this interference. So today we connecting the dots, because for us to understand the extent of this political interference, we need to also be reminded of who held a particular position, how, and what was the nature of the communication. Maybe that is why we hear of crime intelligence head, for us to walk with him through this passage where he's navigating himself, but he's making our lives very easy.
Right. You speak about name dropping. Kenny, let me bring you back into the discussion. I mean, the former police minister's name in Begicele has come up in very serious ways. And there's this individual, General Khan, who seems to be at the center of this disciplinary inquiry, which Mkhwanaziis believes was actually the sticking point, was actually the issue.
Indeed. Crime intelligence has always been an area within SABC that has been discussed quite frequently for the alleged rot that takes place in that particular unit and how institutional and embedded that it is. So we know that there's a Major General Faraz Khan that exists within crime intelligence, and that is the individual that we believe that Lieutenant General Mkhwanaziis is referring to in this moment. We know that there was a disciplinary hearing that was going to take place or took place at the time. He has since been cleared, acquitted on all of those drug-related charges that he was facing in the disciplinary hearing. But where the former minister comes in is that he alleges, that is Mkhwanaziis, that he received several phone calls from the former Minister of Police, Begicele, who called him asking for the General Khumalo to be, who was investigating Khan at the time, to be released from the service in order to go work in Gauteng. He expresses how strange he found the request to be, that you would ask for this particular general to be released from the service to go work in Gauteng, and he goes into great detail about how they were under the impression that the former police minister didn't even like this particular individual, but now wants him to go help him fight crime in Gauteng. He then goes on to state that he had a conversation with the general to tell him that this is the request that we are receiving now from the former minister of police. He says that this was met with some laughs from the General Khumalo, who stated that no, this is a ploy to remove him from the service because he's currently investigating the Major General Khan, who had been facing serious allegations at that time, and there was a DC pending regarding those drug-related charges. So you see the efforts that what is being painted here in this continuous joining the dots exercise is that there was an elaborate effort to even remove a police member from the service and take him to another province in order to protect a particular individual. And that wasn't even coming from this organized crime syndicate, which form a great part of this probe. But the name being dropped is of a former Minister of Police. So it's someone who served in the country as a political head for police. So if you're seeing these kinds of allegations coming even from the top, I mean, one can only wonder what the Lieutenant General is going to tell us next about the kind of alleged political interference that took place in the criminal justice system and how deep it is. If you are seeing information such as this as early as day 3, where already you're seeing instances where there are comprehensive investigations taking place, and in order to kill or halt off those investigations, you're seeing even ministers taking it upon themselves to make calls to ensure that those investigations are not seen through.
Absolutely. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So we'll be here to continue to unpack at least what we're able to glean from our vantage point, given how complex I think some of the testimony can get. And Nhlanhla Mkhwanaziis has also mentioned several times that there are a number of players, and some of them, I suppose, are becoming a whole lot more evident, including, apparently, journalists who are aiding some of these players to see through their own interests. The tea break is going to end in about 5 minutes' time. We're still here at the Bridget Mabandla Justice College for you, and we'll certainly watch every single moment as it unfolds. Stick around. More from the agenda in just a moment.